Hey everybody, JitteryJay here. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. It is Saturday, so we're back with XFM, the Ricky Gervais Show, Series 2, Episode 7. Now, Carl's still not with us this week, from what I've been told. He doesn't come back till Episode 8 of Series 2. So he'll be back next week. So I think we still have Claire. Before we... Oh, hang on. Oh, that was a bad one. I'm up. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm awake. Thanks to my legs hurting. Figure if I'm awake, I might as well record this one and get it done for Saturday. Anyway, let's get into this. Let me kick this on. And let's get into this.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning on XFM 104.9. We're back, Steve. It's Saturday.
That's true enough.
Steve Merchant, that is.
Hello there.
I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously.
Hello there.
Carl's still away. Claire Sturgis is back.
That's
Hello.
absolutely true.
Yeah.
Hello there,
Okay.
Claire. Nice to see you. I think a lot of people were hoping that Carl will be back this week, but we're pleased to have you.
No, they were actually. I did get some emails during the week.
Really?
Saying what?
Just saying it's really nice to, hear you again on the Saturday afternoon. It's nice, and but you're not really very funny. And when's Carl coming back? So sort of being
Sure
nice
it wasn't
to
to
me.
us?
No, it was definitely
Because they think that as well.
directed to me.
But no one can compete with Carl.
They can't.
Well, we used to sort of like come in and when we discovered Carl early on, we just thought this is comedy gold. Just let him speak his mind. But then we started thinking, we can't follow him now. So I remember Steve going, look, we've got to come up with some stuff.
We need to chat. If any...
Just gonna let him speak his mind, but they can't follow him. That's because Carl's mind is out there. He's got his own unique way of looking at things. It can be hard to follow, but it's easier once you get to know him.
His mind. But then we started thinking, we can't follow him now. So I remember Steve going, look, we've got to come up with some stuff.
We need to chat. If anything we've got to say to each other, we've got to say that in the first 20 minutes, and then you just unleash Carl.
Yeah,
And he's
because it's just you can't follow him, and he's off on one. And they have stories of upbringings with bizarre creatures that lived in Manchester that were half human, half bat and frog and things.
I'd love to take him back to Manchester in some kind of TV documentary. When Carl went home and just wandered back, maybe try and find the amphibian twins or whatever those people were.
They weren't. Yeah. So there was two boys, both had big heads and webbed feet. They weren't related. They didn't hang around with each other.
That was all the information we had.
I went, why not? He went, that would have been too obvious. Like they look at each other across a room and go, you think I'm coming to see you just because we're similar species?
Yeah.
You're mistaken, mate. You make your own friends.
One starts to walk over, the other one shakes his head and just mouths, too obvious.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Too obvious.
Out of one of his mouths.
Yeah, that's what they're expecting.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
don't do it, Webby.
Yeah, but anyway, he'll be back shortly, I'm sure.
He phoned me. His dad's ill. His dad's in hospital, so Carl went back to sort of look after his mum. But he was so sweet. He said, "I'm back home, just driving my mum around." He said, so unbegrudgingly, he just went, "It's like old times." And I said, sorry to hear that." And he went, "That's all right, yeah." And I think it's going to be fine. And I said, "How was your holiday?" He went, "Yeah, it was good. Except it were a nudist beach, didn't tell me." I went,
Of course it was.
I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "Well, we're sitting on the... I don't know why they have to do it. I don't know why they have to do it. Why do they have to do it?" He went, "Suzanne said they think there's nothing wrong with it, like being a transvestite." Right?
What?
Right? I went, "I love the fact that your girlfriend has to tell you what's wrong and right in the world." And he went, "Well, we're walking along the beach, fella coming towards us with knob out." I went, "Oh, what's going on here?" Right? And he said, and because it wasn't all nude, he's walking around, he's stark naked, and he wants the freedom of that, but he's got a big rucksack on his back with his clothes on, just to get changed. He went, "So what's the point in that?" Right? And I went, "He should just carry the book." He went, "What, and covered it up?" When he went, "Oh yeah, good idea." See? He went, "But I wasn't happy." He says, and that was the first day, so we didn't go there again.
I just imagine his little face.
Yeah, he's just going, "All right,
Gobsmacked.
that's out,
Yeah.
that's out. What's that doing out? Why has he got his out?"
I imagine Carl sort of dressed in a suit in a sort of safari suit, done right up with a cravat. I'm not undressing. I don't want people seeing the flesh. That's for you, love, and no one else.
But I love the fact that it's good when he goes, Carl, they don't think there's anything wrong with it. They're just happy that way. and he in his own mind just goes, like being a transvestite. He knows there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm always a little bit suspect about people who like walking around nude.
I think you meant transvestite.
No, nudists.
What? Hold on. Can you, can you be a naked transvestite? What are you then?
Yeah, I suppose you're a...
When Eddie Izzard's naked, is he a naked transvestite?
That's an interesting metaphysical question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On XFM 104.9.
If you know the answer to that metaphysical question, or indeed any of the famous ones, if a tree falls in a forest and no one hears it, has it fallen over? Any of those.
Excellent. That's brilliant.
Yeah, if you leave the room, Rick, does it get quieter?
Yeah, what's the sound of one leg hopping?
Exactly. What we got there, Claire?
Do you want some music or
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
a bit
What you
more
got?
chat?
Yeah.
I've got the Vines actually.
Oh,
Is that all right?
play it.
Nice.
Hey, Claire, out of the way.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking to you. It's the name of the song by the Vines.
Excellent.
Yeah. XFM
Right,
XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Claire Sturgis.
It's
Have you
not
ever been to
fair.
Have you ever
It's
been
not
to a
fair.
nudist beach? Have either of you been to a nudist beach?
Yes.
Have you really? I
No,
never
last
been.
month I went on holiday to Antigua and then I went on the nudist beach.
Really?
I wanted an all over.
Sure. Because I was with my family once when we went on holiday, family holiday with.
So you going on and a inspector coming along going, and the glasses. And the glasses. And you don't wear them there.
No, I went there with it was some friends of my it was like family friends, you know, like kids. So it was kids my age and my sister's age who and parents were all friends, you know. Go on holiday to this, end up on this nudist beach, not a nudist beach, but where people sunbathe topless or whatever. Or maybe maybe it was just because it was France. Where I think a lot of that goes on, generally.
All beaches in,
semi-nude.
No, but that's different. The nudist beaches are sort of, they're cordoned off.
Sure, with the cocks and everything.
We can't say that.
You can't say cocks.
Or did you mean the chicken? You meant
The
chicken.
chickens.
There's a lot of
them have
naked
got
people
farms, a lot of
carry
French
male
farms.
birds around with
There
them.
is a lot of poultry.
And by male bird, I don't mean
You
transsexual.
don't mean, no, I don't want to...
He's trying his damnedest not to say it, ain't he? All the innuendos are there.
Birds around with
There
them.
is a lot of poultry.
And by male bird, I don't mean
You
transsexual.
don't mean, no, I don't want to, because that's also offensive.
That is also offensive, so be careful.
Yeah.
Whenever,
Please be careful. Claire, be careful what you're going to say on
I
there,
just want to
because you've
say
got to be
to the
careful.
radio authority, or anyone listening, when we say cock, we are referring to a male bird, and
There is no discussion there. There's nothing. There's no other
absolutely
issue.
not.
There's no other
issue.
ambiguity.
Okay, go on. What are you talking?
So, there's people walking around with their birds and often they got their knobs out as well. So it was just a topless. It was just a topless beach. So we're all on
So there were
holiday.
tits there as well.
There were some tits.
We've got a family of tits that come and eat the nuts that chew on my nuts. Go on.
We're confusing.
No, we have. Jane's got a little bag of nuts that she makes me hang out of the window.
Right.
So
you'll often be hanging your nuts out the window.
And the
so the
tits
tits can... Sure.
God, I don't know what...
Please.
Go on with this story.
Sorry, so what I'm saying is...
God.
What I'm saying is...
Yeah.
We went on holiday as a family there.
Yeah.
There was some tits... There were some cocks, and I found it all a little bit, because I was about 14 or something. I found it all a little bit disturbing, because I hadn't been introduced to this sort of thing before.
Yeah.
And obviously my dad was having none of it, like a bit like Carl, and obviously my mum wasn't up for that as well. But the person we went, the mother of the person we went with, she took her top off, and I didn't know where to look, because I didn't want to make an issue of it. I didn't want to make, I didn't want to. But it was like, because I was with my mate, I was going, well, I wanted to say, well, there's your mum with her knockers out. Really? I mean. That's your mum over there.
Hello, Dave. There's your mum's. There's your mum's knockers. There you go. Yeah. There's your dad. There's your dad. Popped out. Yeah. Popped out. His little man. His little man.
I imagine that would be awkward as hell right there, especially if you're around your friends and your mother does that. I can imagine it would be a very awkward situation to get out of. or even be in?
There's a little fella out
Your
there.
dad's fella's there. He's wandering about, and
He's having a.
and your
he's
mum's got
loving it.
the
He's getting a tan on his
the
little
old milkers
fella.
out. So it was all it was a little bit
Getting a
disturbing.
tan
I
on
never
his
quite
little
got
fella.
that image out my head really, because it was all. I didn't know where to look. I didn't know what to do.
A friend of mine, I won't tell you what his name is, right? He's about 25 now. When he was, I think, 14 and 15, I mean, the worst age, he went to a nudist holiday with his parents and his sister and some of her sister's friends, and he absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
He absolutely.
Well, that's it makes me sort of queasy to think about
Yeah.
it, especially if you're with your family and friends.
Yeah.
because
Right.
it's. I don't mind looking at nudie ladies that I don't know, really, but I don't want to look at relatives, or people I've grown up with, or indeed the likes of you. I don't want to have to see that kind of flesh tone. I don't want to know what's going on underneath those clothes. You're keeping them hidden from me. Well, you haven't. You've shown me much of it in the time I've known you.
So sometimes
There's not a bit of your body I haven't seen at some point. You'll have got your trousers down. Look at the arse. That was, thinking that was hilarious, or the old, the Johnson.
Feeding the birds on the windowsill. It is strange because there isn't anything wrong with it. Let's face it, there isn't anything wrong with it. But I know what you mean.
I think it's because we spend so much of the time covering it up. It's like in the summer months when girls start wearing kind of short sleeve t-shirts or short skirts. You'll have blokes just going mental, just And I think it's because women spend most of the year because it's so cold here, covered up, that men forget what's under there. And then when summer comes around, they can't believe it.
Actually just hang out of a car window or hang over scaffolding and say, "Get your tits out." I want to go. Has that ever worked?
Has it ever worked?
What's your success rate with that?
Well, I was off to my big job in the city, but I got 20 minutes. Why not? Shall I come up there? Or are you going to come down?
Oh dear!
Extraordinary.
Oh, right. What we got coming up? Quick, keep them hooked.
Well, Rick,
We've got some songs and some more chat.
there'll be some chitter-chatter, and there'll be some songs. We had an email last week from a fella calling himself Paul. I don't know if that's his real name. He said that sometimes...
I'm suspicious.
I'm already suspicious. He said that some time ago we played a cracking Johnny Cash cover version of U2's One. Remember that? I think maybe the last time you were here, Kennedy.
Class.
And he says he's been trying to track down that album. He says, unfortunately, like an idiot, I didn't listen to it, and I didn't catch the name of the album. Could you, by any chance, send me the album?
He's having a laugh.
He's having a laugh.
What, for free?
Yeah, so that's not going to happen.
Actually, email him back. Say, Paul,
Shall I do it now?
give us £8 for no reason.
I've also called him some quite offensive names. I'll put from Gervais.
Oh dear, he's not gonna like that.
That's pretty grim.
Nor's his mother.
No.
You shouldn't have brought her into it.
Indeed.
Johnny Cash.
Oh,
Johnny Cash.
So we're gonna
Change from
play
a
it?
Durex machine. Get it?
oh, that's classic. Johnny Cash and his cover of U2's One, magnificent tune. That's from the album American 3, Solitary Man, that was released in 2000. And I've just checked that email that Paul, if indeed that is his name,
Yes.
sent us.
I don't remember that song, and I used to listen to U2 back in the 90s. I can't think of how I know the name of the song. I just can't think of how it goes, or how the melody goes in it. That's gonna bug the hell out of me now. I'm gonna have to look that up later. Anyway,
Johnny Cash and his cover of U2's One, magnificent tune. That's from the album American 3, Solitary Man, that was released in 2000. And I've just checked that email that Paul, if indeed that is his name,
Yes.
sent us, Rick. And he didn't ask for a copy of the album. He asked for the name of the album.
Right.
So I feel a little bit bad that I sent that email back insulting him and his mother.
Yeah.
And also, of course, I CC'd it to his mum as well, and many of her friends. So
Send another one.
I feel.
I think we can get around this. I'll tell you what Paul would like if that is his
If
real
indeed
name.
his name, yeah.
He'd like some adverts.
I'd
wouldn't
love
he?
some bloody adverts, Paul.
Oasis, Little by Little, on XFM 104.9. I'm just moving the mic there. Hold on, I'm getting comfortable. There you go. Right, sit up. I was
A
landing.
lot of people do that. A lot of people do that during the song. A lot of the old pros. And a lot of the old
No, I
pros
like
like
that song.
Foxy
That's
and
great,
Tarrant and the
that.
like.
They were on Top of Pops yesterday, but they did My Generation.
Any good?
Yeah, very good. I mean,
Was it close to the original, or did they make it their own?
No, both. It was pretty close. They did, musically it was close, but they had a certain.
Was it Noel singing or Liam?
Liam. Very, very cool. Very cool. Good swagger,
he's an amazing
attitude back.
Yeah.
I think back on form.
A lot of people tell me though that if you go to any of these big stadium gigs they do now, it's an absolute nightmare because a lot of the fans are really grim. I mean, I've spoken to 2 people independently who've both been at gigs where there have been fans weeing on other fans' shoes. What? That's not what I want from a gig.
That's not nice.
No,
They
that's
own
not
them
good.
then.
Well, yes, apparently.
That's theirs then.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? If you wee on something?
Yeah, you own it.
That's
It's in cat law.
because cat law. Yeah, cat law is if you wee on something, then you own it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you live by cat law.
Yeah, I do.
You do live because my wallet I think you own,
Yeah.
and
Several telephone boxes.
much of my hair.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about nudie beaches.
Yeah.
Because I still can't get around.
I don't know why they
idea.
only play volleyball.
No, that's all they do. Don't
Surely
they?
there's other games you could play. I think French cricket would be slightly more.
All the pictures I've ever seen of nudist colonies always seem to be quite attractive women and some fairly grizzled sort of 45-year-old men. I don't know if that's generally the clientele that it just happens to work that way. But I'm quite looking forward to getting to around the 45 mark and just cruising down.
Happy birthday! Right, I'm off.
Exactly.
Where are you going without your clothes?
Yeah. And at what point? I mean, you can't go into a nudist colony, can you, without taking your clothes off? You
I
can't.
don't know if there's a door policy.
No.
There's sort of
No, I think there is. I'm sure.
Oh, actually, no, because when I went to my nudist beach, there was actually a security guard.
Stopping you from
naked.
No.
Now, Claire,
That's very
would it be
strange.
possible for a bloke who was, say, a fairly good swimmer to swim up to the beach in a wetsuit and not have to come...
France!
Okay, well, yeah.
Let's say for the sake of it, that this person, had some time on his hands in a week.
Yeah, yeah.
And he'd made quite a bit of money
He
recently. He had some
trained.
time.
He trained 9 hours a day at the lengths in the pool,
Yeah.
thinking if I can get Eurostar to France.
It could work. It could work. Yeah.
So, what was your nudist beach experience? This was not a colony.
No,
Not a
it
colony
literally
of
just was
nudists.
a choice that this place had a few beaches. One of them was a nudist beach.
And could
If
you
wanted
see
to
the
be all
nudist
over-
beach from the regular beach?
No, you couldn't. You see,
Right.
it was just round the
What about with
corner.
binoculars?
Possibly. Possibly. But you see, my worry is, as a healthy young man...
Yes, you're not a healthy young man, are you?
No, but I'm talking about you two.
Right, sure.
You're pretty healthy young men. How awkward it must be for you on a nudist beach if you do happen to see a very good-looking naked lady. What you do if you...
Well, that's the reason I've not gone to any.
Okay.
Claire, just exactly that worry.
Because it is very off-putting.
Yes. If you had, it sounds like this is a confession.
Exactly, yeah.
Go on,
That
what
did
happened?
actually happen to us.
Really?
An older
Go
gentleman.
on.
An older gentleman obviously was enjoying his time on the beach.
Right, explain more.
And then came over to chat. And you just don't know where to...
Sorry, so hang on. So he approached you,
Yeah, for a chat, as you do. People are friendly.
right, without wishing to get too lewd, within a state of arousal. Is
How
that the
far
case?
can we go down this?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. I don't want to get too kind of, graphic or gynecological.
Have you noticed that-
Gynecological.
Oh, I was going to say how quiet Ricky was keeping
But so
at
he
this
came
point.
over. He came over.
Well, I'm worried about this. I'm worried about telling this story.
I think it's an interesting. I think this
Yeah.
is an interesting point.
Yeah.
Because so he came over and he was just chatting away.
Yeah.
Quite proudly.
Yeah. Well,
Standing to
eventually got
attention.
quite...
Yeah. And why was this, Claire? I mean, not wishing to be disrespectful, but he's a
I
man.
don't know.
He's been around a bit. Were you reading erotic poetry? What were you?
I was talking about the weather.
Right.
About how nice it was today.
And he approached in pole position, or did he?
No.
Or did he?
I don't like it anymore.
Fine, okay.
I don't like it anymore.
Let's leave it then.
But
Let's
that's
leave
what I
it.
did. I actually ran away.
You ran away. That's
I
terrible.
went
insult.
swimming.
Was he French? Was it quite tricky to speak to him?
Oh, no, he spoke perfect English.
Sorry, during the break, like Claire said, I went on these switch ones, right? And this man came over, an old fella, and it was all I said, and she started off. A bit left. I said he had the biggest knob I've ever seen. And then I laughed, and then she went, and then it got bigger, and I went, you can't tell it. Then I was worried about that, but she left out the funny bit and you just went all weird. Yeah. So play
I
Bob
worry-
Dylan. Only Bob Dylan can get us out of this. This is off his last album, Love and Theft. It is the only track I really like. I'm afraid I didn't get on with the rest of the album because it was too hoedowny and country blues and stuff, which is just not my sort of thing. But this is a nice track called Mississippi. Bob Dylan, Mississippi. off the album Love and Theft. I must admit, not my favourite Dylan album, but that's a nice track, isn't it?
It's a lovely track, actually. I just noticed there you've brought in 3 CDs.
Yeah.
You bring those 3 in every week, don't you? You just play from those 3 CDs? Or what, you substitute the Dylan for different Dylan albums, and the other 2 remain the same?
Well, no, I've got playing a different Cat Stevens. I've got Tea for Tillerman. I've never brought that in before.
Yes, you have?
Altogether. No.
I've seen it before.
No, I've never played anything off Tea for Tillerman. I've played it off Catchable at 4, Teaser and a Fire Cat.
You don't have a sort of deal with Island Records to try and keep that Cat Stevens back catalogue afloat? No one's really shifting it.
I think it might just be CDs that are in the bottom of a bag.
This is why I'm
so
thinking,
lazy.
It's just you've got one carrier bag that you bring back. And...
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to those later.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. No. I was just really wondering, Rick, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but could I have some adverts?
Yeah. Feeder. Come back around on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Hello there, Steve Merchant here.
Of course you are. And so's Claire Sturgis in a way.
That's true enough.
So...
That's true enough.
Yeah.
Rick, I partied till I partied last night, Rick, like it was 1999.
Really?
All over again.
Quite old-fashioned sort of way, some old records.
Yes, on my own. In my flat, crying.
Just like 1999.
Just like 1999. No, went to see Prince.
Sorry. A lot of people use that phrase. It's party like it's 1999, especially back in the early 90s, early 80s. A lot of people use that phrase. I think it was Prince that even did a song about it. But I didn't see him going there with it. In my apartment or in my flat, all alone, crying.
Like Rick, like it was 1999.
Really?
All over again.
Quite old-fashioned sort of way, some old records.
Yes, on my own. In my flat, crying.
Just like 1999.
Just like 1999. No, went to see Prince. At the Hammersmith Apollo, and I tell you this, I mean, if that's a man whose career is going down the pan, then I'm sorry.
Then I hope ours does.
Then I hope ours does as excitingly as that
does.
Because he was stunning. I mean, he is. A lot of people I know have seen him in the 80s or whatever, and when he used to descend from a ceiling in a little red Corvette and stuff. But he is breathtaking. He's like what it must have been to see Elvis Presley. I've not seen anyone who's electrifying on stage.
I mean, I think like most people had a bit too much for him, and that wasn't because it was going downhill. It's because he churned out double albums like most people churn out singles, and you don't know what you should.
You can't take it all in.
There was just too much.
Yeah,
I didn't like the sort of the end of the 80s phase either too much. But
that whole period when he was fighting with Warner Brothers and he started wearing masks. I think everyone just thought, I'm not interested.
Yeah,
you're potty. But he's going to come out the other side of that.
Great tracks, though, great pop tunes, and he's written. I think he's brilliant.
I don't bandy this word around, Rick, as you know.
Go on.
But I'd like to use the word genius.
I thought you were going to say I'll pay for that.
No. Genius.
Oh, wow.
Genius. Because I would say...
They're strong words, Steve. They're strong words.
Rick. It is a strong word.
Can you back it up? Have you got any example of his work that we could play now on XFM to show that he is a genius?
I will in just 1 second. Thanks for asking. But can I try and justify that? Can I just... Because it is a controversial phrase to use. Prince is a genius. And let me tell you why. On his first album, maybe on a couple of his first albums, he played all the instruments.
Brilliant. Like Squiddly Diddly.
Exactly.
In one episode of that I saw. He was playing the piano. Diddley was playing the piano with his 2 tentacles. Then he was like playing drums with 2 tentacles at the back. He was standing on 2 tentacles, which was the other one free for trumpet.
Well, that sounds like genius to me.
Yeah.
That's what Mr. Prince... The only thing I would say about the concert last night, 3 hours. He played for 3 hours non-stop. Well, almost 3 hours non-stop. Didn't take a break. A cracking band, only 5 people.
Imagine taking a break, just reading a paper, having a coffee, going, what are you looking at?
And also very witty.
I've got 20 minutes, by law.
Very witty as well, because a lot of people imagine him being quite dry and quite sober. It was very funny. But, sadly, Prince now... Well, I don't mean to be offensive, but as far as I'm concerned, he's now a Jehovah's Witness. He's now a Jehovah's Witness.
So he's going to come round tonight?
Well, no, but at the end, he did sort of spout on about, his beliefs.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit like I'd sort of, do you know what I mean? Like I'd sort of paid 40 quid and I'd queued up and I'd sat for 3 hours
paid 40 quid?
to then be preached at a little bit. So that was the only thing that put
Well,
a
I'll
damper
tell you
on it for
what,
me.
good job for him. He was good value, because he'd have got an earful from you if he did. Imagine if he'd not played the singles or only did
Exactly.
like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'd have been livid. I'd have just stormed out. I'm out of here. But I did, because I don't know.
Prince, so you've had, interesting, Steve Merchant says Prince is a genius. This is XFM 104.9, coming up to 2 o'clock. Prince is a genius. Can we open the phone lines?
See, the singles are there to draw you in and get you to buy the album so that they can promote their other music that way. The singles are their hottest hits. Usually, anyway. As far as I can tell.
From you if he did. Imagine if he'd not played the singles or only did like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'd have been livid. I'd have just stormed out. I'm out of here. But I did, because I don't know.
Prince, so you've had, interesting, Steve Merchant says Prince is a genius. This is XFM 104.9, coming up to 2 o'clock. Prince is a genius. Can we open the phone lines, please? What's the phone number there, Claire?
08700 800 1234.
Me and my mate were talking about when people say genius, and they do bandy it around willy-nilly, and it's sort of like a comedian or something. They go, he's a genius. And we think that there's people in cancer research sort of laboratories and age, and they're going, we lost another one to ITV. Why didn't he go into science? He could have been the new Newton, but no, he's getting the ratings up for 5.
Exactly.
So, but Prince is a genius, is he?
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you'd like to email.
Prince, genius or little fella? It's up to you.
But when you are Jehovah's Witness, I don't know much about the faith. But are you obliged when you sign up to sort of do your time going door to door? Because it would be amazing. Imagine Prince turning up at your door and just, hi, can I come in? Well, I don't know. And and just coming in and, I was singing some of the hits, but I'd like you to buy a copy of this afterwards. I'm not really interested. Which ones are you going to play? Which ones are you going to play? 'Cause I'm not a big fan of, I don't like, If I Was Your Girlfriend, and anything from Diamonds and Pearls I'm not interested in, so shoot off.
Yeah. I
thought they were going to start selling the Watchtower at the end.
The most beautiful. I like that one.
Yeah.
Well, there's those fat people in it.
Does it make him a genius?
Oh, call up 10235 96429. Prince, genius or bloke with hair?
Well, this has got to be proof of his genius. He played it last night, and it's just dynamite.
It's Strawberry Scar.
Is it Raspberry Beret?
Prince, of course, and Raspberry Beret, one of the tunes he played last night, and
it was
breathtaking. I have to say, I can't sing his praises enough. Although, didn't manage to get myself into the after-show party, where Prince is often renowned for playing with the likes of jamming with the likes of Rolling Stones.
What would have been your approach to get in?
There, Steve Merchant here, XFM, Ricky Gervais show. Any chance I could come in
To your party?
to your party, please?
I'll be honest. Can I call you Lanky?
Well, if it'll help me get in, yeah.
It won't, but thank you anyway. I'll be honest, Lanky. Your chances are slim to none. 4 eyes.
Okay, all right. I enjoyed the concert. If that is any.
Okay,
I could talk about it on the radio. I could talk about it on the radio
I'm going to
tomorrow.
take away that slim.
Okay.
It's none now,
All right.
freak.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So go away, yeah.
Cheers.
Okay. Was it something like that?
It was not dissimilar, Rick. There was a lot more profanity last night, and punches were thrown.
Was it last night?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was breathtaking. How's it working out for you, Rick? How's it working out for you being a celeb? How is that working out? How's that panning out for you? Is that all right? Is that working all right, Rick? Is it? Hey, all the fame and everything. And how was David Bowie on Tuesday? I read about that. Why did I have to read about your presence at the David Bowie gig in the Evening Standard? Why do you keep that from me? Why do you keep that from me?
Right, okay, right. I know what you're thinking. I got an invite. It was freebies, and I didn't.
Because I've
invite
discussed
you.
this in the past. I said,
Yeah,
if you get
no.
invited to David Bowie or any of the big name concerts, I got to go as well. That's the rule. The rule is that we make the TV show, you're in the show, you become famous, fine, but I need to be able to also get the benefits of that.
Well, I didn't go. Did you read this in the Standard?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, no. It said...
Well, it was in the paper, Rick. It was in the paper.
It said present at the concert. It's absolutely true. I'm not bullshit. Absolutely true. In the concert were Ricky Gervais and Jonathan Ross. Now, we were invited, but we couldn't go. Neither of us could go. So I just think they must have seen a copy of the guest list, or someone said they were coming, or they just guessed. But I didn't go. I couldn't go. So there you go. It was Wednesday, and I couldn't go. If I'd have gone, you'd have been there, mate.
Rubbish. Because what worries me is that you were invited, or you requested tickets and then you didn't go.
No. What happened was that Bowie's people just said, "Are you coming to the concert tonight?" And I said I couldn't. But let me tell you something.
Wait a minute.
To get you off this track, right? The next night, we did go to dinner with Bowie at someone's house.
Okay.
But look, wait, right, listen. It was a small affair. It was me and Jane, Jonathan, and Jane. It was David.
First names.
Yeah, no, and I think it was old friends of the family. It was a beautiful house, and it was just us lot, and Richard E. Grant and Pete Townsend and Charles Saatchi and that, and it was just, you know, I think it was, and it was set.
He's building it up more and more, and you hear Steve got quiet. She's not saying a word. He said one word in that whole diatribe. Right there.
I think it was old friends of the family. It was a beautiful house, and it was just us lot, and Richard E. Grant and Pete Townsend and Charles Saatchi and that, and it was just, you know, I think it was. And it was set places as well, so I couldn't have got another. It was weird because we got there. I mean, it said 8 for 8:30, and I got there at like 8:05. And Jane went, "We can't go too early." And we went in there. And we the servants gave us a drink, and we were standing there. And I was looking around. It was an amazing house. It was a beautiful house, and there's Damien Hirst paintings and Lucian Freud. And I thought, well, when the host comes in, I'm going to go, "You didn't tidy up for us, did you?" But I was actually so overwhelmed. And in through the door, let himself in through the door, was Richard E. Grant. And I went, "All right." He went, "Yeah, I'm Richard." I went, "Yeah, all right." And I went, just let yourself in." He went, "Yeah, I live next door." I went, "Oh, okay." And then David Bowie came in, and he came over and spoke to me, and he went, "I've just seen your video, and then this isn't helping, is it? Because this isn't helping."
Well, I mean, the phrase I was just going to pick you up there on was, "I've just seen your video." Because what? No, I just feel that what. Just for a second.
That's
What I feel that David should know is that it wasn't made sort of solely by you, or written entirely by you, or directed entirely by you. If it happens to feature you amongst a myriad of other actors, all of whom are brilliant and equally worthy of an invite to that particular do.
Yeah.
But you'll notice that the person that's representing the show, what got you a place around this table, you notice the one person that was invited is you.
Yeah.
Just you.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good reason.
And
for
a
that.
woman, what you know, who wasn't involved with the show. Your girlfriend.
Well, your partners, you got, you know, that's it.
But once again, she could have stayed at home.
You could have gone on past. Well, I did actually say, if ever I get invited to see Woody Allen, and it's two people, that it would have to be you and Jane that went, because you're both bigger fans than me, and I promised that. And she went along with that.
So David enjoyed the show, did he?
He did, yeah. Yeah, he did, yeah.
And how did the evening pan out? Was it suitably rock and roll?
It was very nice. It was really nice. It was pleasant.
What did you have to eat?
I had, there was nibbles sort of coming round.
Nice,
and then,
They fed you the food, didn't they? I bet they fed you the food.
And then we had, what was it? What was for starter? It was like a ravioli thing for starter. I thought I won't have too much. I fill up for the fish dish. The fish was lovely. Then there was a sort of chestnut mousse.
And what did you talk about with David Bowie?
Just, you know, music.
Yeah.
Music.
You appearing on his next album.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what? Seriously, what? Because I'm interested to know.
It was really nice. He's really so nice.
Steve's not jealous. No, not a bit. I almost think he might be genuinely upset.
Normal. And he actually came over and he said, I've just seen your video. And he said, "Are you going to get the band back together?" He meant he'd seen the Room 101. And he was basically taking the mickey out of me. And he was going, "No, I thought it was really good."
Because you were just a sort of Bowie rip-off,
exactly,
weren't you, essentially?
yeah. And no, it was really nice and normal affair. Seriously, it was just really. I mean, I was going, "Oh my God, there's so and so, there's so and so."
Yeah.
But it was we really enjoyed it. It was really pleasant, and everyone was, you know. And at the end, the people whose house it was friends of his, like sort of really old friends of his, got out a photo album, just like you do, and those pictures of, like, David Bowie, and,
Dave, yeah, sure. Well, no, I mean, that's the great thing about DB is he's...
No, and Iggy Pop with them cooking, and David Bowie was sort of going, look at Iggy cooking, and he was laughing like you do a mate you haven't seen. It was so sweet. It was just so nice. And then I'm gonna see, play a record, Claire.
People forget that celebrities are just people too. You know, it's when you get down to it and you get past all the fame and everything else, they're just people like everybody else. People tend to forget that because of the personas that they put on. But yeah, I see where he's coming with that.
Got out a photo album, just like you do, and those pictures of, like, David Bowie, and
Dave, yeah, sure. Well, no, I mean, that's the great thing about DB is he's...
and Iggy Pop with them cooking, and David Bowie was sort of going, look at Iggy cooking, and he was laughing like you do a mate you haven't seen. It was so sweet. It was just so nice. And then I'm gonna see play a record, Claire, because it is actually a little bit annoyed with me. Play a record.
Then Robert De Niro popped in.
Yeah,
and it all got a bit depressing.
And Woody Allen.
Yeah.
And he went, do you know anyone that likes my work more than you do? I went, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, to throw that last little jig.
Dreaming of You on XFM 104.9.
One of the only tunes on the album I think worth listening to.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Is it really?
But everyone's singing its praises like they're the saviours of British rock, but it just sounds like the Inspiral Carpets, and I don't mean that as a good thing.
We were
Skeleton Key as well. Steve
That's not too bad, yeah, but the rest is...
right.
I think it's not. I think it's more sort of like 1978, 79, sort of those.
I don't know what that means, Rick.
Well, I don't think they've ripped off the 90s. I think
Old hat, you mean? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like it.
Let me just return very briefly to your
God.
No, I don't. I'm not going to embarrass you, but just returning very quickly to your dinner date with David Bowie. What intrigued me, as you say, is that when you
No, it wasn't because of The Office. It was through I think because I met him with Jonathan Ross.
Sure, no, but what I thought was interesting is
people he'd met over this time, because I think he was going back to America.
Of course, but I like the fact you say that he came over to you and said, I saw your tape last night. You know, I just like the idea that people are sort of saying, you'll be having lunch tomorrow with Ricky Gervais. I don't know who that is. Well, there's a tape, watch that, and you'll be able to engage in some conversation. He's a minor celebrity here in Britain. He's had a relatively successful TV show, but we think he's a bit of a one-trick pony. Probably won't be able to repeat that success, so probably won't need to be eating with him in the next 5 years, but be polite tomorrow. He was a big fan of yours. He used to embarrass himself in the 80s doing a sort of vague pastiche of you, and other than that, there's not much else to say, really. Just be polite to him and then move on. Okay, who else has got... You know, it's just sort of... It's very odd that he was given a tape. It's like someone... you know, if you were doing a chat show, you imagine Michael Parkinson would be given a tape.
I know, yeah.
Just watch this, David.
Oh, actually, I think he's been a fan for a long time.
Oh, what?
I think he's followed my career from the 80s.
Sure.
No, when you put it like that, it's not as flattering, is it?
It's very odd.
He was very nice and very polite, and we got on like a house on fire.
Sure.
No, he's great.
Did you do your impression of him?
No, of course I didn't.
Did you not? Did you feel like the urge to snap into it just occasionally?
And I didn't. I was just going, that's David Bowie, that.
Yeah.
That's still David Bowie. That's David Bowie talking to me now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's David Bowie talking to me now. Yeah, that looks like David Bowie. Yeah, that was what was going through my head.
Yes.
And we're talking about his songs, and that was bizarre. It was quite surreal, and you know, and I do know a lot about his stuff, because I mean, he's quite a musical hero of mine.
Yeah.
And so it was.
You didn't mention Tin Machine.
I didn't mention Tin Machine.
Because I'd just be there just thinking, don't mention Tin Machine, don't mention Tin Machine.
Yeah.
Don't even bring it up, don't even say you like it, because you don't know what he feels about it.
You see, I think if people listen to this show, they go, don't invite Steve Merchant because he's insulting. He insults people, he sends emails to people when he reads them wrongly.
Yeah.
He'll bring up a period of your life you don't want to talk about.
Yes.
Get the little short fat one. He's a lot more polite.
Sure.
Leave out the lanky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they probably wouldn't say lanky, Rick. They don't know what I look like because they listen to me on the radio. I think they're insulting. They might say, oh, you know, West Country oik or something. Yeah. But
who was it I was listening to? Someone yesterday. There was someone had a Bristol accent.
Fascinating.
No, I think. Oh yeah, it was one of those the Fame Academy. Disappointed, but I think you'll have to get into it. Bit of a shambles at the moment, but I mean, no, there's no investment. I didn't know them, and one of them had a Bristol accent, and I just thought it really is a stupid accent. What have we got lined up, Claire? What have we got?
Well, a bit of John Spencer blues.
Oh, I
explosion.
love this. I love this.
Yeah.
This is an old classic I brought in today, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Hello.
Don't even start on that, Rick. There's so much I could attack you about. I mean, look at you. Look at you. You're laughable. John Spencer Blues Explosion.
Oh, you do it.
Well,
Sorry.
no, I just thought I would.
Yeah.
On account of I brought it in.
And then someone was complaining that we speak over each other.
Yeah, we had an email saying we gabbled too much.
And we both went, I don't think we do.
Yeah. Did you say that? I didn't hear you. I was talking at the time.
Yeah.
Right Place, Wrong Time by John Spencer.
Yeah. I don't.
We also had an email. You didn't enjoy it? You didn't enjoy it? No. We also had an email saying. Again.
No, go on. I won't. I did this. Go on. Sorry. No, you.
You can see why that would annoy me.
I know.
You can see why that might annoy me.
Take your headphones off then, because it must be louder in your headphones, because I don't wear headphones.
No. I'm not so much thinking of me as the people listening at home.
Okay.
The people who pay our wages.
Go on then.
We had an email that said... I don't know who's the victor in this, Rick. I don't know who's winning with you making that noise. What? You're the only person whose enjoying it.
But if I only do this for my
But there's a handful of people listening, Rick.
A handful of people listening.
whose Saturdays, Rick, are empty. They've got nothing.
Okay.
They're running on empty, and this is all they've got.
Okay.
And they want conversation. They want an interesting
what are you going to
discussion.
say then? It depends if it's interesting or not.
Well, let me say it before you make the judgment.
Okay.
So, all right, what about this? If you don't like, if it's not interesting, then you make the noise.
Okay, all
All
right.
right?
Okay.
So this is just, we had an email.
Right.
It said, is Claire Sturgis drunk when she does the show? I swear to God, that was a real email. I've lost it now. But
Really?
so does that warrant the noise, or?
No, that's all right. That's quite
Okay,
interesting.
that's-
Yeah.
yeah, quite interesting
No, she's
email.
not. No, she's not drunk, is she?
Bit coked up.
That's not true.
Yeah, just a
it's
bit-
not true.
The old Charlie.
No, not true at all.
No, you don't do drugs, do you? Claire, you're not into drugs, are you?
No.
Yeah, you're clean now.
I am now, yeah.
How did that go for you, the detox?
It was great.
It's good.
Mainly thanks to you two.
Yeah.
For the support
At least
on
you
air.
don't. At least you don't have to steal so much now to
Exactly,
feed
yeah.
the habit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Are there any drug addicts on this station?
No, not anymore. No.
Because I bet there are. I mean, you don't have to name names, but what about initials? are there any skag eggs, any smackheads at all? Seriously? Because I'm intrigued.
Not anymore. No.
Can you tell me off air who's a drug
Off
addict?
air, I'll be happy to tell you.
You-
but
there
not
are some
anymore.
then?
That's
there
terrible.
were. Not anymore.
What do you mean? They got rid
No,
of
there
them?
weren't. Stop this.
Are there any people who
No.
they think that they've got it under control, but they haven't really? It is.
Yeah.
There are some, aren't
They
they?
go in, they think that no one will notice, but they've got no pupils.
Yeah.
And they just stare at you for ages and go, what? At the
That
end of each
seems like
sentence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Because
seems
there's a
like
couple of
people like
drunkards,
that.
I know, but there's no... It's boring now? Okay, play a record, it's boring. Ricky Gervais is telling us it's boring.
Queen's the Stone Age. There. No one knows. It's going well.
I'm enjoying
minutes
it,
to
yeah.
go.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad, yeah.
Good song
Adverts or
title.
what?
What do you reckon? Who's loving them? Getting Away With It from Electronic, of course. Fantastic
Great.
tune, yeah. No, it's
That's
a
a
beautiful tune.
mutual favourite of ours. We both like that, don't we, Steve?
We do indeed,
both
yes.
like that.
We are mutually appreciative of that track. Ricky
Yeah.
Gervais, of course, friend of the stars. Claire Sturgis is here. My name's Steve Merchant. Ahoy.
Yeah, XFM 104.9.
So I saw you the other day, because I haven't seen you this week, but I did see you walking down the street holding a gum shield that you just bought. How'd that work out for you, the boxing?
Oh, it was really good.
Because we talked about, are you aware of this, Claire, that he wants to become a boxer? This is something that Ricky talked about the other week on the air. He suddenly decided at the age of 40-something that boxing is really
Well,
the
no,
profession he should
hold
have
on.
taken
Well,
up.
40-something means 47. I'm just 41.
Okay.
I am 40-something, but 40-something is like a euphemism for nearer 50.
Yeah.
So don't say 40-something.
Okay.
Say 30-something.
Yeah. So yeah, he's taking up. But apparently, there's something called white collar boxing. Claire, did
Yeah.
we mention this last week?
No, you didn't know, but I didn't know something about. I think you mentioned it
Yeah,
before, but
he,
not last week.
he
White
bas-
collar boxing.
Yeah, it's basically it's like a kind of it's like a classier version of Fight Club, the film Fight Club. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
So instead of they don't meet in sort of dingy cellars, they meet in what office blocks or.
And it's usually for charity at the Grosvenor or something, or a big hotel, I don't know. And you just have like a bill on there and you punch each other. For charity.
serious?
Yeah. But anyway, I've been training boxing for a while now, just like, you know, the pads and everything. And last week we started on
bugging the shit
sparring,
out of
and
me.
it is
He won't curl in
a
it.
different level. Honestly, I mean, I can work out now for an hour on the pads, and I did about 1.5 rounds, and it was like I was asthmatic. Because you're also, the trainer, who is a bit of a boxer himself, put the gum shield and he goes, okay, I'm not going to... And I was giggling with fear.
Okay.
And he said, you've got to get a gum shield just in case. And that's where he saw me. I'd gone to the Lonsdale shop, and I got a gum shield.
I said this before, Claire, is that I just don't think it's a good idea. I mean, you know Ricky, you've known him for a while
Yeah.
now. He's not mentally tough. which is a
Yeah.
problem. I think he's not sort of psychologically. He's quite.
That's what threw me off. What he called it. He called it a gum shield. I'm used to it being called a mouthpiece. That's all I've ever heard it called. It's a mouthpiece for boxing. It's people use it when they play pro football too. It helps protect the teeth, keep them in line.
They saw me. I'd gone to the Lonsdale shop, and I got a gum shield.
I said this before, Claire, is that I just don't think it's a good idea. I mean, you know Ricky, you've known him for a while
Yeah.
now. He's not mentally tough, which is a
Yeah.
problem, I think. He's not sort of psychologically, he's quite weak. Like, he's scared of a lot of things, you know, cars.
Spiders.
I mean, he'll get, I've seen him, like, edgy, like if a car blows its horn and he's in the house. Do you know what I mean? And he'll hear it outside. You know, what's that? Is it coming through the door? Is it? No, it's all right, Rick. We're on the 8th floor, and it's across town. It's fine. Don't worry.
I don't like crossing roads.
No, he can't. I mean, I've never seen a man so
And
terrified.
on the motorway, if someone's going on the motorway, I'm looking at the speedo, and if it's like 86, 76, then I'm going, well, let's go in the slow lane. And I'm looking, my eyes like saucers, just taking all the information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he can't drive
That's
as
a
well.
rational fear, though, isn't it? Roads
But I
are
think it's
scary.
because you can't drive.
Yeah,
So,
possibly,
for instance, the fact that I've seen. I mean,
Actually, Ricky, you're right, because I can't drive and I do exactly the same
yeah,
thing on motorways.
so that's all right. Yeah.
But do you do this, Claire? Which is when you're in the back of a cab and you feel the cab's going too fast, despite the fact that you're, say, driving up Shaftesbury Avenue in rush hour.
Yeah.
So you're never going to pick up a great deal of speed.
Yeah.
But Ricky he won't mention it to the driver. I feel you're going a bit too fast. He'll whisper it to me.
No,
He's
see, I would
basically
do
suggesting
that,
to me that I should say something. Because I'm Ricky Gervais off the telly. I don't want to cause a fuss. You better do it, Steve, because you're nobody. That's basically what he's
Yeah, but
insinuating.
roads
So I've
are
always got to
scary.
sort of make the complaint, or
Yeah.
I've got, But
And,
you're terrified of you're terrified of that. You're terrified of spiders, as we know.
Yeah.
Cobwebs. You're
Well,
terrified
that's
of
rational,
pictures of
'cause
spiders.
there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
I know who made those webs, Steve, and they live there.
Yeah, it was you that got the certificate, wasn't it, raised on the Spider-Man film? So they couldn't show the trailer before, you'd gone to bed.
Oh,
Are you scared of Spider-Man? Does he terrify?
No, I'm not scared of Spider-Man. No, I'm not scared of anything. But I got used to the, in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. That one that kept walking off the street. I got used to him. I got to know him.
Uri Geller?
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all right.
So you're scared of that?
Tarantulas
And,
aren't as scary as the bath ones. Tarantulas are sort of like more furry.
But what about these? Because these programs where they'll have people on, and they'll sort of like I saw a show once where it was about phobias, and a woman was terrified of dogs, and a psychologist kind of got her to spend some time with the dog, and
Yeah.
slowly you've got no urge to sort of try and have that therapy done, and so you can maybe deal with your which is basically, let's be honest, a woman's concern. It's a woman's fear, Rick, isn't it? Essentially,
Like I stand on a chair.
exactly.
Yeah. No, but I saw one. What's that one? He's really nice. He's not Jerry Springer. He's really nice, and he has weird people on it. What's is it?
Montel Williams,
No.
Montel Jordan,
No. It's about 50.
Maury.
this could go on for.
Maury.
Yeah.
Maury Povich. Maury
Yeah.
Povich.
Maury.
Yeah. He's the one without glasses, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who cares?
That's
You
it.
saw Maury
But
Povich.
yeah, and there was like these women on there, right? And
Yes,
sort of
you were not the
trailer
father.
trash, and they were going, "You're scared of snakes, aren't you?" And then a woman would go on a snake, and she'd be screaming, knocking things over, and I go, "Well, that's not doing anyone any good, really. That's just for the audience to prove my point that she's terrified." And it was like tinfoil, and someone brought on millions of bags of tinfoil, and she was screaming,
What, she
hugging
was
him.
scared of tinfoil?
Yeah, that's worse, isn't it?
Scared of tinfoil is pretty mad.
Yeah, well, it's irrational. You
I
can't
know someone
link it back.
who's afraid of
you see-
buttons.
Yeah,
Buttons.
anything.
Afraid of buttons?
Yeah, 'cause there's
Afraid
something
of buttons.
weird going on in your head, isn't it? It's some sort of weird symbolism.
But I,
so-
I understand the snake one or the spider one, because I understand, there are poisonous spiders and snakes.
Well,
but,
it also could
tinfoil?
be sort of like chemical memory. Yeah, that could be, but it's usually some,
point.
But how do you? Because I don't know. Because I don't have any irrational fears,
Yeah.
particularly.
Well, don't confuse.
Except
phobia
when you're
with-
flatulent. That I'm terrified of, because you never know when he's going to spring. Because he's not got any of the social graces, Ricky. He'll just think it's funny to just pass wind. Dinner. I don't imagine he did it during dinner with Bowie, but if I'm having lunch with him, it's because he'll just start grinning, and it's on it's on the way, Claire. There's something in the post when Ricky starts when his lips curl up, you're having lunch maybe, here it comes. And it is, I tell you, it is eye-watering stuff. I mean, it's intense.
Oh, tell that story when you're on the train.
There is only one smell that is worse than Ricky Gervais' flatulence. I was on a train once, and a guy was on there with his dog.
Okay.
And the dog passed wind, right? I don't know what he'd been feeding it, like sheep or something. You know, cattle. He must have been feeding it, you know what I mean, like intestines or something. It was intense. This smell pervades the carriage. You know, because they're all like they're all kind of air conditioned, or they're tight, so there's nowhere for the smell to escape. Yeah. So it's just kind of spreading, like in this kind of invisible sort of stench that fills up the carriage. I tell you, people's eyes were bleeding. Do you know what I mean? It was like that's how. It was unbelievable. I felt like my.
Anyone who's owned a dog can tell you there's nothing worse than a dog fart. Nothing. You could have the smelliest food, and a dog fart would still beat it. Oh my god! I know we used to have our old dog that passed away last year. That we had to have put down last year because she was sick. She used to have the worst gas, and she was let's see, what was she? She was Chihuahua, Boston Terrier, and something else mixed. But she's a short little thing, but jeez, could she pack a punch? It was unreal. Anyway.
They're all kind of air conditioned, or they're tight, so there's nowhere for the smell to escape. So it's just kind of spreading, like in this kind of invisible sort of stench that fills up the carriage. Okay. I tell you, people's eyes were bleeding. Do you know what I mean? It was like that's how. It was unbelievable. I felt like my face was melting, like that bit at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was how it felt, right? And the bloke, who was obviously a bit embarrassed, said, "Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know who's worse. You know, with their flatulence. You know, people or dogs." And I wanted to go. I've got an idea. How about dogs? What about your dog? It was unbelievable, but it's that. Let's try and make a joke of it. No, get off the train at the next stop. It was just. I mean, I don't like people with dogs anyway. Just generally, you know, you'll see people. No, Rick, when you see people walking down the road with dogs and they just let a dog, you know, do its ones or its twos on the side of the road, and then they just walk on. I just don't know what that is.
No,
it's
you're
like,
not meant to.
it's
It's wrong,
no,
yeah,
but it is right, and it really winds me up because you'll see people. It'll be like old ladies or kind of toffs. Or something like that, and they were the sort of people that will complain about, you know, bad language on TV or youths, you know, or ne'er-do-wells hanging out by bus shelters. But they're happy for their dogs to, you know, go crapping on the sidewalk. They anger me. People with dogs who just are irresponsible like that. Do you know what I mean?
agree. Well, that's nothing to do with liking dogs, is it? That's arrogance of people who think it's.
But there are a lot of people, as I say, who are kind of, you know what I mean, who think they're better than they don't have to worry. They don't have to bend down and scoop it up, which is what they should do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, that's
I got that off my chest.
Yeah.
Play a record.
Here it goes again. See, there's a lot of people, or not a lot of people, a lot of cities and towns now that have ordinances that say you have to pick up after your animals. I know, I'm pretty sure there's one here. Yeah, you can get a fine if you don't. It's crazy. But anyway. HOAs are good for that, but so is the city council. Anyway,
off my chest.
Yeah.
Play a record.
Ricky and his noises.
U2, Electrical Storm. They've done it again. I think that is beautiful. That track.
I know you used to disrespect U2.
I just didn't like them for 10 years, and then. All That You Can't Leave Behind came out, and I sort of thought, well, I could have been wrong, and that's brilliant. So,
Rick, you know earlier I mentioned Prince, and we asked the question, is Prince a genius or not? We've had a lot of response, mainly by email. Interesting, Rick, some people think he is, and some people think he isn't.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, this debate will rage on. Can we have some adverts?
Some people consider him a musical genius, but that's about it.
Well, in the last half hour, Steve, they've heard Nirvana, they've heard Oasis, they've heard they've heard Dylan. We've got Cat Stevens, we've got Tom Waits. You know what I mean? Now
it's great music.
We're playing a lot of music and talking less in the last bit. Now, some people, right, would say that's because we running on empty and we ran out of things to say at 20 past the first hour.
Yeah.
Right? I say actually we want to get in some great tracks.
Well, that's my excuse as well.
What's next? Cat Stevens off Teeth of the Tiller Man. I've got nothing, Steve.
You're running. I know. Well, it's the noise. I think the noise was the lowest point.
Was it the noise?
The noise was really annoying.
I think they're a little bit bored without Carl.
Guess I'll take my time.
All right, cut it off.
Reach
There it goes.
there.
I'll have to cut it out.
Cat Stevens from Teeth of the Tillerman.
So many people, Rick, haven't even got a Cat Stevens record in their collection, and you hear tunes like that, you just think, do you know what I think of them?
You think why?
I think why, Rick?
We just
Sometimes-
had someone phone up
I
saying
never was
they
scared
want a
for
bit
Cat
of
Stevens.
psychedelic furs, and Claire said, "Oh, what's your favourite track?" And we both went, "It'd be Pretty in Pink,"
course.
and it was.
Yeah.
But you know, you meant to say like on Heart or Magic, you're told to say coming up a classic by so and so, and people stay. Watch it in case it's their favourite, and if it's not, you don't give that away. But it doesn't work when it's things like, I hear things all the time like, after this, a classic from Men at Work. That'd be Down Under
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Coming up next, a beautiful tune by Danny Wilson. Mary's Prayer. It's Mary's Prayer.
exactly.
It can only be Mary's Prayer.
Yeah.
So
No.
it doesn't work with those that they've had one hit.
Yeah. Or a tune from Hearsay.
that one.
Oh, I hate them all.
Nice.
You know, because like rock
Oh,
and
come
roll,
on,
that we hate
Steve.
them all.
Don't kick them when they're down.
Yeah, it's true enough. God, what other pop
That
do we
thing-
hate?
You know that thing,
No,
yeah.
we all
some
hate
rubbish.
pop music, don't we? That's why
Yeah.
we're an alternative station.
Agadoo's rubbish.
Oh, I hate it. Russ Abbott, Atmosphere. There's no atmosphere in here with that playing. Oh.
Last night's thing started, the Fame Academy, and I'm quite a sad telly watcher, and I've been looking forward to that for about 2 weeks. I fell for the hype. I can't believe it. I love Pop Idol. I love Pop Stars the Rival. I love Celebrity Fit Club. I love all those things, right? Just disappointing because they'd already picked them. I think it's investment, and I'll be honest. I think the standard was poor.
The standard was poor.
I think so.
And are
don't
these
know.
people with different abilities, or is it all singing?
It's all singing. It's rather like they've got us down to the last 12 of Pop Idol, say.
It's like that. You come in at that level.
But to be fair to the programme, I think it's all about what happens next, because now they get voted out like Big Brother.
right.
Which one is that?
and do they-
Hold up. Which one are they talking about?
But just disappointing because they'd already picked them. I think it's
God, what other pop
that
do
thing,
we hate?
You know that thing?
No,
Yeah.
we all hate pop music, don't we? That's why
Yeah.
we're an alternative station.
Agadoo's rubbish.
Oh, I hate it. Russ Abbott, Atmosphere. There's no atmosphere in here with that playing. Oh.
Last night's thing started, the Fame Academy, and I'm quite a sad telly watcher, and I've been looking forward to that for about 2 weeks. I fell for the hype. I can't believe it. I love Pop Idol. I love Pop Stars the Rival. I love Celebrity Fit Club. I love all those things, right? Just disappointing because they'd already picked them. I think it's investment, and I'll be honest. I think the standard was poor.
The standard was poor.
I think so.
And are these people with different abilities, or is it all singing?
It's all singing. It's rather like they've got us down to the last 12 of Pop Idol, say.
It's like that. You come in at that level.
But to be fair to the programme, I think it's all about what happens next, because now they get voted out like Big Brother.
Right.
And
do they write their own material and stuff, or
they'll
it's
be
just
taught to do that. They've got the whole team together and everything. So then they're filmed, you know, like for 24 hours a day and everything. And so I think you've got to get into it and get to know these people. There's always a few. There's already a few. I go, right, she's annoying.
Yeah.
Right, vote her out. And they have to. There's 3 that the teachers say each week. Okay, you're up on probation, and then you vote them out, and it gets it down to one person. But the interesting thing is, it's not just they get a record and they release a single. They live the life for a year.
Right.
So they get this beautiful sort of pad in Notting Hill Gate. They get a sports car, right? And it says they get to go to parties. They're already set up to go to the FA Cup final, the Brits and all those things.
Dinner parties with David Bowie.
Yeah, meet all these people, and then after a year, it's taken away from them.
wow?
They just take everything back.
Okay.
And you don't like this because you feel it cheapens like your celebrity lifestyle, which you've worked for.
No, but the other thing is, of course, they could be big stars by then, and they just have to get their own car. But how do they, what?
That psychologically is going to be grim.
But are we going to follow it up for that year? Are we going to? Is it like?
Well, that's when it becomes interesting. I mean, now camera crews following Hearsay. Now that's interesting.
Yeah, I know, and like,
Now
what
I'd like
Jay
to see
did
what happened.
next.
Yeah,
or, like,
exactly.
when they actually, that. But I don't know how they're going to do it.
How long, Jane? Jane, why do I call you Jane? There's so many. The name Jane has been mentioned so many times.
You can call me whatever you like, Steve.
Love. Well, how long do you reckon?
Why did I call you Jane?
Yeah, I know, and like,
Now
what
I'd like
Jay
to see
did
what happened.
next.
Yeah,
or, like,
exactly.
when they actually, that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they're going to do it.
How long, Jane? Jane, why do I call you Jane? There's so many. The name Jane's been mentioned so many times.
You can call me whatever you like, Steve.
Love. Well, how long do you reckon Ricky would last in the Big Brother house? If he was in Celebrity Big Brother, how long would Ricky stay in there?
Well, you see, as a...
Well, it depends, you see.
Oh,
Go on,
that's
you
a tough
answer.
one. No, because as someone who would be watching Big Brother if Ricky was in there, I would make sure that he stayed in right till the end, just for comedy value.
Well, of course, because you know he's irritating. He's a sort of...
So I'm Chris
But if I
Eubank,
You're the
then,
Chris
aren't I?
Eubank of the house,
Perfect,
but
right.
obviously a lot of people tend to vote out the most irritating, annoying, most loathsome person.
Well, they
straight
want to
away.
get rid of me, but the public presumably
Yeah, the
might
public
want me
would
in there
love- would love.
as a sort of
You know what?
irritant.
I think the public would turn against you as well. I know you, Rick.
Right, well,
it
that's
would
about
expose
it.
you for the charlatan you are. We haven't played a song for the ladies for some
on.
weeks because
Oh,
I
yeah.
just keep forgetting to bring
I
one in.
need one. I need one.
Thank you, Jane. I thought, I haven't played Tom Waits for a while, and this is, one of his classics, and it's just beautiful, beautiful tune, and however many times you've heard it, it's still brilliant. Downtown Train, Rick.
Oh, I can't believe it.
We're back
That's
next
it.
week, and Carl hopefully is back with us.
Carl, I think will be, yeah. Well, we don't know, but
Let's hope everything's so sharp, then.
I'm sure it is, and we'll see him next week.
Thanks, Jane.
Goodbye, everybody.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. This is an interesting episode. I can't wait for Carl to come back, but this one was pretty funny itself. These guys crack me up every single time. I agree in a way with Claire that I think they would keep Ricky on the show just for comedy sake. You know what I mean? Just because it would give good ratings. Anyway, I thought this was a great episode. I would love to hear what you guys thought about it in the comments. Let me know what else I gotta check out, and I will get there as soon as I possibly can. If you're still here and haven't done so yet, be ever so grateful if you'd hit the like and subscribe buttons before you go. It goes a long way towards supporting the channel and helping it grow. That being said, that's just about going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this episode of the XFM's Ricky Gervais Show with me, and I hope to see you on the next video. I love you guys. Peace. Hey guys, make sure to check out one of my other videos right here at JitteryJay.